Thank you. The way they sort maggots is easy because maggots like warmth, so they they compile in one place. The top ones, if there are some on top, you may have to do like this and pick out some. But as you reach down, you find them compacted, so you have to carefully remove them and just put them there. The way they sort maggots is easy because maggots like warmth, so they they compile in one place. Like the top ones, and they if there are some on top, you may have to do like this and pick out some. But as you reach down, you find them compacted, so you have to carefully remove them. While you're going to feed fish, since you don't have to make the water dirty, you have to maybe first wash them a bit. The way they sort maggots is easy because maggots like some of the people of the black soldier fly, and they cover them with this in case in one place. The top ones, and they if there are some on top, you may have to do like this and pick out some. But as you reach down, you find them compacted, so you have to carefully remove them. To feed fish, since you don't have to make the water dirty, you have to maybe first wash them a bit, cover them, and make sure that the black soldier flies don't fly. The way they sort maggots is easy because maggots like some of the people of the black soldier fly, and they cover them with this in case the top ones.
My name is Vermiculture. I'm 10 years old. I'm in primary 5. I study for Gestation.
But as you reach down,
I'm going to take you to hydroponic further. We first soak the seeds for 24 hours. After soaking the seeds, we wash them. After washing them, we take them to the tray. We take them to the tray. We put them on the tray. Then we take the tray to the we take the tray to the machine. We put the tray in the machine, which will provide air water, and warmth. And after 6 days, the seeds will be ready for harvest. And this is how it looks like when it's ready. So we feed the barley to the cows and we feed the pigs maize. So I'm going to take the barley and I feed the cows. So now I'm going to take the maize. I'm going to give the pigs maize. We first shred it before we give them. This is how it looks like when it's ready for harvest. Put it down.
Hello viewers, I'm Nafula Enid, a teacher at MST Junior School. I'm a mathematics teacher, but a head of Department of Agriculture. A school of beauty where we teach young farmers. With me here is Njala Josiah, a student in primary 6, who is going to demonstrate how we plant a banana sucker. Welcome.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Gonzaga Josiah. I study at MST Junior School, and here with me is Babide, who is going to help me during this presentation. I'm 12 years old, and today I'm going to help you and teach you how to make a hole before you can plant your bananas. So first you need to buy a sucker and then dip it in a pesticide for 24 hours to kill any pests that might have come with it. And then you need to measure a hole or a string of 50 centimeters. It has to be 50 centimeters or 1 meter diameter and 60 centimeters deep. Then from one plant to another is 4 meters. From one plant to another has to be 4 meters. And then you need a feeding basin of compost manure. You can get leftover food or anything that can rot. And then you put it in the feeding basin, which is also 1 meter in diameter and 60 centimeters deep. And then after that, you need to put 1 wheelbarrow of manure into 2 wheelbarrows of topsoil. And then after, you can dig your hole and separate the loam soil from the subsoil. And then after, you have to put your manure inside, and then you can plant your banana inside. When making a hole, you need to separate the topsoil from the subsoil, because the reason why we separate it from the subsoil is because the subsoil does not have as much minerals to support the plant. It is the topsoil with the most minerals that can make a plant healthy. So after you dig a hole of 60 centimeters deep, you separate the topsoil from the subsoil, because the topsoil has more nutrients than the subsoil, which can support the plant. And as you can see here, it is different than the subsoil, because this one is darker with more nutrients than the lighter one with less nutrients. So after that, you get the topsoil and then you put it back, and then you also get the manure and you put it in the hole, and then you mix, and then you can plant. when you're done planting your banana, during the dry season, you have to mulch to keep moisture in the soil. But in the wet season, you don't have to mulch, or else too much water will make the plant to rot. And then, look at the video, please. This is my son mulches. I need to assist me with some water. Thank you for watching.
Hello everyone, my name is Sentongo Mina. I'm in Gaza High School and I'm here at MSC Junior School for the 7th Annual Farm Camp 2021. I'm going to be teaching you about vermiculture. Vermiculture is a rearing of earthworms. This is a vermi bed, and these are earthworms. I'm going to be teaching you how to make a vermiculture bed. We get banana stem cuttings, and the reason we use banana stem cuttings is because when they rot, they provide water. Then we put there fresh grass. This is our fresh grass. We put there soil after putting our fresh grass. Then we put there well-decomposed manure. After putting the well-decomposed manure, we introduce in our earthworms. Then we introduce them into our vermiculture bed. After that, we put their dry grass. Then we sprinkle their water to keep the temperatures low. To keep the temperatures low. As you noticed, at the bottom of our container, we have their holes that help us to trap the vermi liquid. This vermi liquid can be used as a pesticide, especially for pests for the matoke, like the nematodes, and it can also be used as a fertilizer. After 3 months, our earthworms are ready for harvesting, and you give them to the chicken and also to the fish. You can also use after those 3 months, the well decomposed manure turns into humus. As you can see here, this is the humus. The old decomposed manure has been turned into humus. This is my vermiculture bed. The other one was just a demonstration of how to make it. So, the earthworm turns the dung into humus because plants feed on humus and not dung. As you can see, the vermiliquid is tapped. It is collected here. It settles at the bottom of the vermi bed and is collected here. This vermiliquid is used, number one, as a pesticide, especially for banana matoke pests like nematodes, and it's also used as a fertilizer. I'd like to thank the organizers of the farm camp, and I would like to thank everyone who is viewing. Thank you very much.
Hello viewers, my name is Einstein Sentongo. I study at MST Junior School. I am in primary 6. I'm here with my colleague Nakato Galiana, and today we are going to take you through the process of piggery. 7 days before a mother pig gives birth, it is taken to the farrowing house and put in a farrowing pen. The reason that's why you put it in a farrowing house and into a farrowing pen is in case of an early birth, and so it can get used to the surroundings. On the day when the mother pig gives birth, there are some activities that are supposed to be done to the piglets that is given birth to. We are supposed to tooth clip them with a tooth clipper. The tooth clipper right here. We tail dock them with this. We also give them iron, so that because the mother's milk does not have enough iron, so we give them an iron. This is how the iron bottle looks like. We also weigh the pigs. On the 10th day, since these pigs have been given birth, we introduce them to crib feed. The reason that's why we introduce them to crib feed is so that they can get used to solid food before they go to the winner's house. 28 days after these pigs have been given birth to, we wean them off. On the day of weaning them off, we weigh them. Their weight is supposed to be from 8 to 12 kilograms. We ear tag them. We also give them a multivitamin. We deworm them. We deworm the mother pig. We also deworm the piglet. We also weigh them. On that day when we're weighing them, their weight is supposed to be from 8 to 12 kilograms. Now, we also take them to the winner's house. After 42 days of being in the winner's house, we take these piglets to the grower's house. When they enter the grower's house, we're supposed to weigh them, and their weight is supposed to be from 25 to 30 kilograms. Now, we rear them in the grower's house for 80 days. Then your pigs can be ready for slaughter, or you can even continue rearing them for another 1 month. Their weight from there is supposed to be from 90 to 110 kilograms, and if you calculate, they are now 5 months old to 6 months old coming. 28 plus 42 plus 80 is equal to 150, and if you translate that to months, those are 5 months to be exact. Now let me hand over to my other colleague, Nakato Galiana, to explain the rest of the process.
Hello viewers, my name is Nakato Galiana. I'm 10 years old and I'm in primary 5 and I learn from MST Junior School. And I'm going to talk about when the piglets have been weaned. For the mother. When the mother has been dewormed, she is taken for isolation and she is on heat from 3 to 10 days. And she is near a male or opposite a male. When she is on heat, she is served by a male. or she is artificially inseminated. After 10 hours, she is inseminated again. Then she is pregnant and she's taken to the single store for 107 days. And then after 107 days, she is taken to the farrowing house. Thank you for watching.
Hello everyone, I'm Dominic Sentong, teacher of science. I extend my service at MST Junior School, which is Math, Science and Technology. We're in the science lab right now, and that's where we do practical activities and we carry them out from primary 1 up to primary 7. We do such activities practically to enrich our learning. Since our mode of teaching is mainly practical, we try to eliminate the abstract teaching. We are making learning real and not boring. So with me here, there are two children. They are all in primary 6, and they are going to carry out an experiment about making lactic acid bacteria. We can abbreviate it as LAB, capital letters. Now, the steps and its uses are going to be all shown and exhibited by them. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Einstein Sentongo. I'm here with my colleague Gonzaga Josiah. We studied at MST Junior School, and today I'm going to be taking you through the process of how to make lactic acid bacteria. Lactic acid bacteria can be used for the following things. It can be used to make yogurt. It can be used to kill bad smells in pigsties, chicken houses, cow sheds, pit latrines, and so on. To make lactic acid bacteria, you will need the following requirements. You will need 1 kilogram of rice, 2 liters of rainwater or boiled water. The reason why we use rainwater or boiled water is because it does not have chemicals that will kill the bacteria. We need 500 grams of maize bran and half a liter of milk, and also a container with a net. We start off by putting the 1 kilogram of rice into the container. Then we also add the 2 liters of rainwater or boiled water into the rice. Then we cover for the next 48 hours with a net in an open area. After 48 hours, we sieve the rice from the water. After that, we add in maize bran to the water. The reason that's why we add maize bran to the water is so that the bacteria can get carbohydrates. We cover for 24 hours in an open area with a net. After adding the maize bran, we stir it. Then we cover for another 24 hours in an open area with a net. After 24 hours, we sieve the maize bran from the water. After sieving the maize bran from the water, we add in half a liter of milk. The reason that's why we add in half a liter of milk is so that the bacteria can receive proteins. Then you give it a stir. You cover for another 24 hours in an open area with a net. After 24 hours, your lactic acid bacteria will be ready for use. This lactic acid can be used to make yogurt. It can also be used to kill bad smells in chicken houses, cow sheds, pigsties, pit latrines, and so many other places. Any place where you want to kill bad smell. Thank you very much for listening.
My name is Muganga Karen Joel, a student at Crane High School. I'm currently here at MST participating in the Gayaza 7th Annual 2021 Farm Camp, and I'm here to explain about fish farming. Here at MST we raise African catfish, and as you can see, these are our ponds. They are called smart raised ponds. So the dimensions of these ponds are 4 meters by 2 meters, then 1 meter depth, meaning the 4 meters is the length, the 2 meters is the width, and the 1 meter is the depth. So here we are raising the African catfish, and as you can see this whole process, we have water in here. We are trying to show you that also you at home you can raise your fish in such a setup. Currently we have 500 fish in here, and in each square meter can accommodate 65 fish. And in this pond we have 8 square meters, meaning that the whole pond can accommodate 500 fish. But then it's according to what you can, the dimensions that you can afford. So as you can see, this is the water. You may be asking yourself why this water is green. The reason that's why this water is green is because it contains something called algae. Algae is something that it's a natural thing that grows in water, and the fish can feed on it. We put this algae in by getting chicken droppings, and then we put the chicken droppings in here for a week. And then after putting the chicken droppings in your fresh water for a week, and then after you remove them, you start seeing changes in the water. Your water will start growing green, meaning will start turning green, meaning that the algae has started growing, and the algae makes the water look green, so the fish can feed on this algae. So it's something natural in the pond. So this is, as you can see, we are trying to carry out what they call a filtration system, whereby water is getting out of the pond and then entering in there and then coming out. So by the time it passes through that whole process, it comes back into the pond when it's filtered or when it is clean. So this is how it works. We have a pump in here. The pump is removing water from the pond, and then it's transferring it right there. So as you can see, there are outlets. So when the water enters in there are volcanic rocks that filter the water. So the dirt gets stuck on the volcanic rocks so that the water comes out when it's clean. So the process is continuous. And you may be asking yourself, do we change this water? Yes, we do. We change this water every after 14 days. We use a process called the siphoning system, whereby we get a pump, and then since we have matoke at our farm, we get a pump and then we connect this pump to our matoke, because this water is very nutritious for the matoke and other vegetables. So we don't put this water to waste. So we remove this water, we remove 50% of the water using that system, whereby we put a pump and then the pump takes out the water. So we do that process every after 14 days. So about the feeding of the fish, at our farm we have different foods that we feed this fish on. We feed the fish on different things, and we also feed them on maggots, earthworms, and then also manufactured food called fish pellets. As you can see, we are feeding the fish, and the fish enjoy this mukene very much. They are eating the fish, this silver fish. So this is how we feed our fish. We feed them on, as I said, mukene, maggots, earthworms, and then also manufactured food called fish pellets. So this is what we feed our fish on a daily basis. So this is basically it about the fish, and this fish takes 6 months. This fish takes 6 months to grow. So within a period of 6 months, these fish are able to be mature, and you're able to eat them or sell them out to the market. I would love to thank the organizers of the Gayaza Farm Camp for organizing such a wonderful event, and thank you very much for your time.
Okay, over to you, moderators. Christine.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Dungu.
And you're most welcome, students. Thank you for coming in big numbers. The video was really an exciting one. So we are going to take a few questions, but before we take questions, do we have anyone that still wants to take us to the garden? Do we have anyone? If as the person prepares, we can ask Miss Elizabeth Kutesa to answer some of the questions that in the chat. Miss Elizabeth, are you still with us?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so there we have a number of questions in the chat, and the first question is by Mercy Hilda Faith, and she asked, why don't we put enough soil in the hole? I think that is when we are growing matoke. Why don't we put enough soil?
One, I tried to answer one of the reasons we don't put enough soil in that. And by the way, it is enough soil. If you've looked at the plant itself, reason number one, if you look at the sucker itself, it is a very small sucker. So you can't really fill up, you can't really bury deep down in a hole. Chances are it will rot. It will rot because it will be deeply covered. But secondly, with the whole advantage of having the sucker with just covered enough soil is that when it rains, these holes retain water, while the rest of the ground up is drying up. Holes tend to have water conserved within for the plant to use later on. So I think basically those are the two reasons: conserving water in the hole for the plant to use, other than covering it up to ground level, and preventing rotting. You can't cover that thing so deep in the ground. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, Miss Kutesa. And then somebody had also asked a question on. Okay, thank you. I saw Miss Teresa reply to that. Thank you so much. Where can we get the earthworms to start vermiculture?
Well, if you may not be necessarily near a person who's practicing the same. However, earthworms exist in the soil just anyway, especially in very fertile soils in the garden. Okay, when you dig the ground, especially when it has rained, you realize that you see a lot of them. It's a matter of, I think, just collecting them and putting them in your media for them to reproduce. Even when it rains, most times they come out of the ground to get oxygen because the soils are usually waterlogged. And that is also another way of having to gather them together for your big production. Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe I may ask a question as well that hasn't been asked. Why do we, because when you saw the girl, the lady who was talking about the vermiculture, she says there is always where they put a pipe to tap the water, to tap the liquid that comes out of the media. Why is it so? Can help me answer that.
Okay, anyone that is ready to answer that? Let me have somebody put up the hand and answer that question. Maybe Elizabeth, you could just repeat your question.
When you look at the vermiculture bed where the lady was doing the practice, there is usually a pipe at the bottom. Okay. Why do we have to put a pipe to collect the extra liquid from the vermiculture liquid from the bed? There is a reason for it.
Okay, thank you so much. Students, anyone to answer that? We want to see who was very attentive. Anyone? They're really going to surprise you. They know it. I know. Anyone? Who can give it a try? Anyone to give it a try?
Pardon the question.
Okay.
I pardon the question?
Yes, that is for Mary. Mary is willing to answer the question.
There is a pipe at the bottom of the vermiculture bed where the lady was doing the experiment or the practice. There is a pipe at the bottom of the of the bed, okay? That is where most of the liquid comes out from, okay? Why do we take this liquid out of the bed, out of the earthworms? Why do we take this liquid out? Why is it collected out?
Because most of the times when it spends a lot of time, it starts raining.
Who is that answering? Please put your hand up if you want to give an answer. How we can, let's have Hannah. Yes, Hannah.
Teacher, I think that they remove this liquid from the earthworms because the liquid is the urine from the earthworms. So I think this liquid can be used as a pesticide. Yeah, it can be used as a pesticide, and I'm pretty sure it can also be used as a fertilizer. So I think they drain it in order to find a way to use it to kill pests and maybe to fertilize their crops. So like they're trying to avoid buying things and instead use what they have already.
Okay, Teacher Elizabeth.
Thank you, Hannah. That's another reason, because we've been told they are pesticides and for killing nematodes in the plantation. However, another reason is that when this liquid is not scooped out of the bed will become waterlogged, okay? Remember, the lady has said the banana produces a lot of water when it is rotting, okay? But when this water is not put out, the bed will become waterlogged. What happens to the earthworms? They will suffocate. The same thing I told you when it rains, earthworms come out of the ground for that reason, to get oxygen, okay? So that is why we put that liquid out, to prevent waterlogging and earthworms having to suffocate because of what? Lack of oxygen. Of course, plus other uses, Hannah, like you've said. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Teacher Elizabeth. And then somebody was, there was a question, why do we put lights in the pigsty?
Baby piglets usually need warmth. Okay, those lights are infrared lights and they produce warmth, especially in the night. They're usually actually put in the night when it's cold, mainly to produce warmth, as in to warm their bodies up. That's the reason.
Okay.
Yeah, warmth, yeah.
Thank you so much. And because they are young, they really need the warmth. Okay. Thank you so much. And then Ian Kayongo is asking, where can I get volcanic rocks?
Haha, volcanic rocks, I really don't know. However, maybe you can visit a farmer who's, for example, Dr. Nalima. I know there may be some other farmers. Volcanic rocks, I didn't really get what kind of volcanic rocks. So I'm not sure.
Ian, could you really be specific and tell us what kind of volcanic rocks you're talking about? Please, you can put your hand up, you can raise your hand or put your question, okay, put it in the chat. Then Miss Elizabeth, somebody is asking, how do you pick the fish from water?
According to Dr. Nalima, she's feeding her fish with the maggots for the first, I think, was it the first video? And she's feeding maggots. However, there are other fish feeds. It's you wash them, as in, according to the video, you just have to wash the maggots and drop them in the pond. And the fish will scoop the maggots straight away. They easily sense this is food. Okay? You just drop the feed on top of the water.
I think Elizabeth, I think what Neil is trying to ask is, how do you pick the fish from the water? Like, how do you, I think harvesting, is it harvesting or what do we call it? But how do you get the fish from the water?
Harvesting. Dr. Nalima has a pond. So if you want to harvest, you just drain the water. And when you drain the water, the fish remains in the pond. You get it and scoop it out. It's a pond.
Okay.
That is harvesting.
Oh, thank you so much. And actually, she talked about changing the water, I think every 14 days.
Yeah.
Okay. So that is it. You drain the pond and then harvest the fish. Thank you so much. And then Ian has said the one they used to filter water for the fish. I think that is the volcanic rock he's talking about.
Yeah, the students talked of volcanic rocks, but I don't know really where to get them. Maybe if you can and you have means, you can always pay a visit and get more information about that. Or anyone in the chat who may know what they're talking about. Christine, ask in the chat, the rest of the members.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Ms. Kutesa. Students, do we have Owani? Your mic is on. Do you want to tell us something? Do you want to take us to your garden? Okay. So class, do we have anyone that knows where we can get these volcanic rocks? Okay. Somebody is saying, won't it suffocate? I don't know what name.
Christine, Mr. Dung is saying he will get a response from MST Junior School on where to get the volcanic rocks. So we shall have the answer to maybe some other time.
Tomorrow. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. So our teacher, Miss Elizabeth, the Neil is asking, won't they suffocate? He had asked about how do we pick the fish from the water, and you had said we first drain the water and then pick the fish from the water. But his question is, won't the fish suffocate?
And you're harvesting. Obviously, when fish comes out of the water, it's going to the market, okay? And it has to. Have you ever seen like I don't know, fish is always dead in the market, but fresh, okay? So if you're picking the entire pond, yes, it's like but if you're picking some of them, when you drain, there remains some little water down. When you pick what you want, you just add more water for the rest to do what? To keep living. That is how they harvest fish in ponds. They drain the water a bit and pick out the fish that they want.
Okay. Thank you so much. Okay.
Liz, good morning.
Okay. Good morning. Yes, Solomon.
About harvesting fish, you can still use a net, just in case you need few. Yeah, there are some small nets that you can use to pick out a few fish that you may need.
Wow. Thank you so much. We are really blessed to have 2 agricultural experts. I think 3. We might also have me, Patrick Muhinda in, and we are really happy to have all of you. Thank you so much for joining us. It shows the immense love that you have for us and you really want us to learn. Okay, thank you so much. So those are the questions that we had in the chat. Let's have anyone who wants to ask any other question, you can just put your hand up. We are very ready to answer any of the questions that you have. And students, in case you want to take us to your farm, you can also put your hand up. We want to see what you're doing in your farms, what is it that is happening there, and all that. So if you have any other question, okay. Any question? Any question? If you don't have any question, we are going to play another short video for you because we still have some few minutes to go. But if you have any question, you can put in the chat. If you want to take us to your garden, you can also still put in the chat as we play this next video. All right, Mr. Dini, you're most welcome. Please play the video for us. I think we can continue. If we have another video on fish farming from another farmer, it would really do us good so that we learn more about fish farming. I think that would do us very good. So please pay attention as we play our next video. And Teacher Martha has said you can research about volcanic soil, about volcanic rocks in Uganda. Thank you so much, Teacher Martha.
My name's Isaac. I work for Kawibra Farm as an operations director. Where we are now is the fish section. This being a mixed farm, this is the fish section. We have 38 ponds of different sizes and 12 concrete tanks. We keep 2 types of fish, catfish and tilapia. Then we also have a hatchery for breeding catfish. So we have 2 products here. Table-sized fish, that is for eating, and fingerlings, the ones we supply to smallholder farmers and NGOs, government, and any other person who wants to grow fish. The table-sized fish, we can grow fish up to 1 kilo or even beyond. Fingerlings, it can be different sizes, from 3 to 5 grams to over 10 grams, depending on what the customer wants. This particular pond is about 450 meters squared. We keep up to 1,500 tilapia here. So this is a breeding pond for tilapia. As you can see, the water is greenish. That's an indicator that the pond is very well fertilized. It is not dirty, but it's well fertilized. Yeah. This is an empty pond, as you can see. We use this basin for harvesting tilapia fish larvae. Once we capture this fish from here, we take it for nursing. So from the nursing, from that pond, from the basin, we bring them here for sex reversal, which takes, like I said, 3 weeks. And after 3 weeks, that's when we shall transfer them to the happers. These are the fry.
They are in stage 1 now when they come to shed. You feed them for 3 weeks, approximately 20 days, and then you add on that 1 day to finish 3 weeks. Then after that you harvest them. Also this nursing pond, they also have the collecting base.
Yes.
So when you want to collect them, you also collect them from the base there. You drain the water and then you collect them from base, and then you put in drums, you grade according to their sizes, so that because others are first shooters, holes, and then they passes.
When this fish is born, it has no sex. It's not a male, neither is it a female. So by bringing them here, we are just tilting their biological setup to make them males. So we are reversing the sex to make it a male. We make it male because the males grow faster under commercial farming.
Okay, there's a hormone, it's called metatestosterone. So you mix that hormone with the ethanol. The solutions are there. You mix it with the ethanol, and then you get the feed. Now you spray the hormone on the feeds. Stock solution, you spread on the feeds, and then you give for them that 21 days.
Partly we do that sex reversal because that's what the market wants. They want fast-growing fish. Even in these, like for example, nads, they want sex-reversed monosex fish fingerlings. The pond gets overpopulated, and therefore its management becomes hard. Because you've stocked 500 fish, but when they produce, you find there are 1,500. So they will not grow as fast. So from here, when they are after 3 weeks, we shall transfer them to the happers. So these are our happers now. You can see the fish. This is now bigger. These are bigger fish. These are ready for sale. It's a simpler process. If a customer comes, if you come that I want 1,000 fingerlings, it is easier to pick. 2 people can do the process of packing for you than here, than there. There you need more people to harvest and pack for the customer. Here even one person can come with a net and seine through and go and pack. So this is like a display, we can say. Like you bake bread, for example, and put it on display. Than that one. So this is a catfish hatchery. And it is from here that we get the fingerlings, which we supply to farmers and other interested people like NGOs, government. The whole process takes about 2 months. From the time we breed, from the time we strip to this stage of fingerlings. Yeah. These are fry, catfish fry, and they are
They are now 12 days.
12 days old. So we keep them here for nursing purposes as they grow, and we have to feed them on high protein feed for them to grow faster. So this is their feed. Most of this feed is very high protein feed. So we shall keep them here for about another like 30 days. We supplement on the oxygen by this is oxygen from the compressor. Because there are many in the tank, we need to add in more oxygen. So these are diffusers which release the oxygen into the water. Yeah, in this tank we have 2 diffusers. Then we allow water to come in and out, because as the water comes in and goes out, it is refreshed. It's a refreshing process. And 2, it adds in oxygen. Yeah.
This one normally we call them passes, holds, and shooters.
By saying passes and holds,
when you upgrade them now,
it is according to size. If you leave these ones with the small ones, the big ones will eat the small ones. So even when you are stocking your pond, you must make sure that what you are stocking is fish of equal size. If you stock fish which is one is bigger, another one is smaller, the catfish is carnivorous by nature. It will eat its fellow fish. Yeah. So that is why we are sorting them out. So even if a customer comes, we have to give him fish of the same size.
When a customer comes and wants to stock his or her pond, so here are the materials. We have our packing bag. Okay, this is the packing bag. To get it ready. Okay, this is the knife to cut the bag. Okay, so you have to get your tube ready for tying the bag. You also get this scoop net, and then the barrels to scoop the fish from the tank. You count according to the customer need. After counting, and then you get your materials, you prepare them ready, you tie the tube. After tying the tube, you put a third of the water in this bag, and then you put the number of fish that customer needs to put in the bag, and then you put oxygen, and then you tie so that they are safe to go. So I have made my bag ready. I'm going to put water at the other of the bag, the fresh one. So I'm putting water at the other of the bag to put the fish, the catfish I'm going to count for the customer to put in. So after putting those ones ready, and then you come with your scoop net, and then you scoop the fish. Okay, let's say this is the number of the fish that customer wants, for example. So after counting the fish like this, so after and then you put the fish in the bag.
Yeah.
Now here is the fish the customer need, and then it's inside the water.
It has
now it remains to put oxygen, and then I tie there. So you put this tube that is going to bring oxygen.
Then we turn on here.
And then you turn on there. So you hold the remaining part of the bag, because you have put half of the bag with water. You be turning it like that. After there. So there I have put the oxygen. Okay. And then I'm going to tie with the
rubber band.
The rubber band, the tube. You make it tight so that the oxygen can be loosed easily.
It doesn't leak. Because once it leaks, then they die.
They die.
So this is good to go.
So there the customer can now go safely.
Yeah.
Now the customer will hold the fish like this, so that there's also enough space for them to move there freely. You can see as well the fish are just moving there. When a customer gets with his or her fish to the pond which is going to be stocked, so this is what he should do. He will come with the fish and then press the bag inside the water like that. So this process of putting the fish with the bag inside the water, it is called acclimatization. So the farmer will leave it there for 5 minutes. He will come with the razor blade or a knife. So this process of acclimatization, the farmer puts that thing, because the temperature of the water and the bag, the water inside the bag, are not the same. So he leaves it to be there for 5 minutes, so that the temperature is the same, it is neutralized. Because if it is not like that, and then you put your fish there, they get stressed and then they die. When the temperature is now neutral, the farmer gets the knife or a razor blade and then cuts the bag there, and then he leaves it inside there in the water, so that the fish go by themselves, slowly by slowly. When they get done, and then he can remove the bag.
We are saying that this is floating fish feed, and it will remain floating until the fish comes and eats it. The other thing is, other feeds don't float, they sink, and most of it is wasted if we are feeding tilapia.
To add on, for tilapia fish, for them they normally eat on top, on the surface of the water. They are not bottom feeders like catfish. That's why we get them the floating feed, so that when you give them, you can see them coming to pick one by one. Because if you feed a fish, tilapia fish, with a singing feed, the feed sinks down, and then for them they don't eat, they will be starving. Sometimes you will see them, they can die because they are not eating. For them, they eat that one that floats on top of the surface of the water, because they are surface eaters. For catfish, it is bottom eater, they can eat from down.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Adungo, for playing that video. Would you love to say something?
No, I was just saying that back to you, Christine.
Okay, thank you so much. I think we have a few questions in the chat, and I'm happy that we have Ms. Kutesa, we have Mr. Mukumbia, and I think Patrick is also on, so they'll be able to answer those questions very well. So I welcome Teacher Martha to take us through this video. Teacher Martha, you can pick the questions in the chat. Teacher Martha, can you hear me? Okay.
Yes, I can hear you. Good morning, Mr. Dungu. Good morning, everyone. Teacher Christine and the rest, and the students as well. Thank you, Teacher Christine, for taking us to the first session. We have some questions in the chat, and I'll read them to us. The first question was, what is nursing? I don't know what Neil was trying to ask here, but he's asking what is nursing. Maybe Liz, Solomon, and Patrick, one of you can help us there.
Thank you so much. Good morning to you. Nursing mainly is just kind of a special care, okay? So let's say the fish is put into the nursery, so that is where nursing happens. It is given special care, attention, the feeds are different from the rest. Literally the care, it's just the care that is different from the ones that are in the big ponds. I don't know if Liz can add on that, or Patrick, but yeah, it is really not that a big deal.
Yeah, basically that's it. Nursing, taking care of those young ones to get them a little bit stronger for the big pond. Yeah, to get them healthy and stronger to survive in the big ponds. Thank you, Solomon.
Okay, thank you, Solomon and Liz. I think Neil has got his answer. And then Mary asked, how do you count the fish? I tried to answer a bit. I don't know if you can add something to that.
I think normal count. Okay, Solomon, go on, please.
No, it is. Okay, when you look at this person, it was really a little bit clearer. When you use this, excuse me, when you use a scoop net and put it in and put the fingerings into the basin, there are not that many, as someone was saying. So you can easily count using your eyes. And remember, in this way, they're not going to be that too active because you've not put the feeds that they will be running about. So you'll be able to count them. You pick what you can count. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Solomon. Then Faith Natavona is asking, how much is each? I don't know if any of us knows the price, so maybe if you know, you can share with us.
That depends from where you're going to buy the fish and then the type. Yes, the type of the fish, because we have different fishes like the tilapine, niloticus. We have the tilapia themselves, the catfish, the langfish. So it depends on which type of fish that you're going to buy, and then you'll be able to buy that fish. But some are at 250, others 300, others even go beyond that. Yeah, that's.
Okay, thank you, Solomon. So Mary is asking, do they give their customers a lot of fish? Since I've never bought, I'm not sure. So maybe someone can share with us.
Sorry, I went off. Someone had called, but yeah, That is it.
Martha, Teacher Martha, I think with that question, it depends actually. Do they give their customers a lot of fish? I think it depends with the person selling the fish. I wish if we had the owner of the fish pond maybe here in the here with us, he would be in the best position to tell us since he's the one who interacts with the customer. So we might not actually know how many, like if the customers are given a lot or little or according to what they have bought. So that one we are not very sure. Maybe we'll find out and give you the answer tomorrow during the in the morning.
Okay, thank you, Teacher Christine. Okay, Mr. Dungu posted, what subjects would you make use of the fish video to teach, and what concepts can be taught on our Ugandan curriculum? Mr. Dungu, is this question to the students or to the
students? I hope they've been following closely.
Okay. They can put their answers in the chat. Students, you can put your answers in the chat and put which concept, if it's geography, which concept in geography, if it's mathematics, which concept, please put them there. We'll be reading them after. Okay.
Maybe they need to know concept is topic or subtopic or idea.
Okay. Thank you for that guidance, Mr. Dungu. Okay, please, as you post the subject, please post the concept or topic as well, where you think we can apply this fish video. Because I'm seeing Mary says geography, Hannah says biology, Mary says fishing. Oh, geography and fishing, okay. Then Neil says, can you really know the number of fish on the farm? I think that's a question. Can you really know the number of fish on a farm? Neil, I think you can know. Maybe we can hear from the experts if you can really know, but I think you can. And then Davina is saying, like, when determining the size of the pond and the number of fish, math. Thank you, Davina. Then Vivian says geography while studying the topic of fishing. Okay. Then Faith says, I think math in similarities. Okay. Faith, maybe you can share with us later on how you can do that. Then Vivian says in agriculture. Okay, I think we can proceed. And then as the video was playing personally, I noticed that you can pick a concept from chemistry where we have the fractional distillation of liquid air, because the gentleman talked about the compressed oxygen. And I wanted to pose a question to the students, maybe to go ahead and think about it, that how were they able to get this compressed oxygen that they always provide for the fish while they're in water? So maybe you can go and brainstorm about that as a take home. Then Mercy tells us, do they have dangerous animals in the fish pond? Maybe we can have Liz, Solomon, or Patrick to answer that. Do they have dangerous animals in the fish pond?
Those are called predators, and they can also be avoided in many ways. But first of all, the snakes. Snakes really are big predators. And then we have the birds, the eagles, the kites. I think even cats sometimes, but mainly those three. Okay.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Solomon. And then Hannah has an interesting answer here. Biology while studying the parts and functions of the fish. And then Nakecho also says math in counting numbers, good. Then biology when studying about classification of living things. Thank you, students. These are all beautiful answers. And Someone is asking a question that also got me interested here. What is sex reverse in fishing?
Sex reverse is like basically, okay, when fish is hatched, it's neither female nor male. Okay.
Mm. Yes, Liz, go ahead.
Sorry, am I there?
You were breaking. Maybe you can repeat that.
Sex reversal is basically changing the fish to either male or female. When the eggs are hatched, the fish eggs are hatched, they're neither female nor male. So it is the farmer who goes that extra step to make them either female or male. In this scenario, it's put in terms of give another reason of why they want male fish is that okay, that's different. But sex reversal is mainly changing the fish to a particular sex because they are born neither male nor female. I hope I've answered you.
Okay, thank you so much, Liz. That was really interesting. And then Mr. Dungu has posted in the chat that tomorrow we shall have the former State Minister of Education taking us to her farm and speaking to us about her views on education. You can't miss this, and we start at exactly 6 a.m. So please, students, be informed, and you don't want to miss this exciting moment. Please kindly join in and inform your friends about this. Mary is asking, how do you solve those challenges? I'm not sure which challenges she's talking about. And Liz, you were breaking, I think, when you talked about the scenario of sex reverse. Someone is asking, how is it done? So I think they didn't pick that part.
How do we solve the challenges or overcome the predators? I'm sure that is where her question is. Usually you find that these people, the fish farmers, are putting a net on top. That is because they want to prevent the birds from preying on their fish. And about the snakes, you find that some people actually also plant some, how do we call them? I'm forgetting the exact term, but you find that they put some repellents. They plant some plants which are repellents and like tobacco around, but not too close because it might also affect the fish, to chase away these snakes. But sometimes you also kill them. Yes, you can kill them also. Maybe, Liz, if you have something else to add on that, you can hope.
I was actually talking about the sex.
Liz, you're breaking.
Someone know us how it's done. Am I there?
Yeah, you're better.
I'm better now?
Yes.
I was talking about the sex reversal, how it is done. In this farm particularly, the farmer said what they do is they get the male hormone, testosterone, they mix it with, okay, thank you. They mix it with ethanol and they spray it on the fingerlings, and automatically the fingerlings will become male. That is how it's done. For the one who asked how it's done.
Okay. Liz, before you mute, there is an interesting question still on the same. Someone is asking, how can that be done in a lake where no one owns the fish?
In a lake, you know, a lake is big. Okay, and I think in a lake, the reproduction occurs. No, they don't have to do it. It's no more ecology. Like things are happen how they should happen. Mating when they mate. I really do know the scenario of a lake.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much, Liz. And so
unless, however, there are those who do fish farming in cages in a lake. It can be done. Cages in a lake.
Teacher Christine, over to you. Thank you so much, Liz.
Okay, Teacher Martha, we have a few minutes to go. I think we can stretch for 3 more minutes or 2 minutes to 7:35 because we're supposed to stop at 7:30 just to wind up with our questions.
Okay. Thank you. So we still had a few questions. Someone is asking, how long is the gestation period of a fish?
Liz or Solomon?
This still depends on the size of the fish that the farmer wants to sell, okay? But usually we can take 6 months. Others can go beyond that. But if you go beyond the 6, you're going to be dealing in kind of losses because now the fish will actually be like half a kilogram. Others will be like 1 kg. Yes, so it depends on what you want, the size. But 6 months can do well for you, the starter.
Okay, thank you, Solomon. And then I think Namiro is talking about the question of how to overcome the challenges. She says, as well as clearing bushes around that can hide predators. Thank you, Namiro. And someone I think was talking about how we get oxygen by buying it. I just want to leave you with a take home in the chemistry area. Even after buying it, how were those people that sold it to you able to get that compressed oxygen? I think that was my question, just to be a little more clear. Okay, Teacher Christian, I think that was it for today. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Teacher Martha. But there's one important question that you left. Somebody had asked, let me just look for it. What are bottom feeds? Maybe Teacher Solomon or Liz can answer that very fast. What are bottom feeds?
Bottom feeds are those that sink to the bottom of the pond. When it means there are top feeders and bottom feeders. Tilapia is a top feeder. So if you feed a bottom feed, starve because it can't eat feeds at pond. So fish tilapia, the bottom. I think that's it. Bottom feeders and top feeders.
Okay. Thank you so much, Liz. Thank you so much, Liz. You were breaking a bit, but I think what I picked from you is that bottom feeders are the food that remains at the food that goes to the bottom. Then we have I think feeds that are at the top, and we have fish that feed at the food at the top, while others feed at the food at the bottom. Am I right? Okay, I think we've lost Liz, but thank you so much, students, for joining in. Thank you so much, Mr. Dungu, for this opportunity for us to learn. And thank you so much to all the teachers that have joined. Thank you, students. Thank you, Solomon, for your help. And we look forward to having you tomorrow. And so students, tomorrow, please don't miss, as we have the former state minister. You really want to hear. She's a very interesting person. You can't even afford to miss the session tomorrow. So let's have somebody just give us a closing prayer. Let's have a volunteer give us a closing prayer as we wind up. Yes, Hannah, go ahead.
Loving Father in heaven, I glorify your name, I give you praise. We lift your name on high, Father. Thank you for this day. Thank you for the gift of life. Thank you for enabling us to go through this session more. We pray that you may enable us to understand and learn from the sessions we attend each and every day. We pray that you may bless our teachers abundantly and guide them. We pray that you may guide us throughout the rest of the day and you may protect us. In Jesus' name I have prayed. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much, Hannah, for that wonderful prayer. So students, bye. Please see you tomorrow, same time, or see you afternoon for our lessons.
Thank you, Teacher Christine, Teacher Martha, Teacher Elizabeth, Teacher Solomon, and all the students who have been on this call. Let's catch up tomorrow, 6 a.m. Bye-bye.
Bye.
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 Bye, teachers.
Bye, all of
Thank you.
you. Meet tomorrow at 6 p.m. Please don't miss.
Thank you. I don't want
Good morning to you all. Bye-bye.